Well, we were disappointed, but on the other hand, man, that was a very good team. I think that you know that. They've already beaten South Carolina, played a close game with Baylor as well. So, you know, nothing but praise for them and the other teams that are in the Big Ten.
Questions?
Ask me a question. Why did we lose?
Maybe last year you guys played in a somewhat similar game. You were up 13. They were up 13 in the third quarter, and then you guys made a run to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Made a similar thing this year, but they handled the pressure a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the difference, that they were able to handle your pressure down the stretch and not make?
Yeah, but the difference is we fell apart ourselves because we didn't, for lack of a better word, have the will to put it out. Because if you were to look at the game with Wisconsin, we were down by, I think, 14? 15 points, and we came back. That's not a good situation for us. That's not good at all. And we've got to do much better. We've got to jump on people. But the difference between jumping on the opponents that we've had and jumping on these people is that it's the Big Ten, and so it's not nearly as easy as doing that. And aside from that, we were playing a number of people that we will need these days to learn plays and learn where we have to go and what we have to do, because we were just out of sorts today, and that's basically what happened. We didn't, and we're not making shots. For example, most of the time it's Arella Rantes that shoots shot, right? Also, you would also recognize that T-Baby dropped, I think, like 21 points the last time they played. But so we weren't surprised that they would cover Grantes and then basically play in the zone areas so that they cover everybody else. We just need other people to show up. And then beyond that, we just didn't do what we needed to do to execute down the stretch. And that's what we've got to do much better.
An opponent like this, who was loud today, I wonder, for you, having stepped away briefly last year, a game like this, does your view of it change at all? Does it feel different at all?
Well, no, not really. I mean, let me say it like this. I think that we were dealing with somewhat of a mirage, before. That is that we played well, and I readily admit that, against our other opponents. But this was the Big Ten, and I don't think that we've had a game that had a differential of more than 3 or 4 or 5 points. So those are the kind of games that we would expect. But the difference is that they handled it better, and we did not handle it better. And we would hopefully, be a lot more mature and being able to handle it as they did. But no, I don't think so. We were doing some things that were kind of different, and some of it was sometimes we had new people on the floor that didn't know the patterns or didn't know where they go. They'll learn. But today, no, this is not the time to learn. This we had to come correct and come ready, and we just didn't do it.
Coach, speaking of Arella, her first of all, what's the status of her ankle, or is it too soon to tell?
I hate that happened. I don't know right now. I mean, she's limping, and she's going to be limping, but she's been badgered a lot. I mean, she's just gone through a lot because you see that she wants to play all the time, but we try to give her a break. But she seems to be the only person that would actually take a drive and being able to finish with 2 or 3 people.
We might keep her home on New Year's Eve, but
yeah, we people.
But she had a good bit of volume production-wise today. Did a lot of that or all of that come out of the game plan, despite Indiana kind of doubling over on her?
No, we would never have had that. But the truth of the matter is that she still wanted it. She came to it, and I thought that we had, as an example, we had a plan that if a pattern that we were running was not, productive, that we would run what you call a through cut, and it would clear the lanes to allow her to dribble and drive. But in the meantime, you still have got to hit outside shots, and we didn't have anyone else that was really hitting outside shots. Like I said, before, when T-Baby played, I think that she scored 20-some points, and they were with 6 or 7 threes that she took. So that wasn't the case today. And in addition to that, you want to have at least 4 players that can score. I thought that they did a great job of moving the ball around. They have a number of people, and they were very predictable of what they can do, and they did it. They came to spots we were surprised with any of that. And it would have been good if we could mix the defenses up. And hopefully we will do that soon, but right now we had to stick with a few things, and we had to stick with a few patterns that we all knew. And that's a fact. And hopefully, it's kind of interesting because I'm not sure why this is happening this year. Normally we have a good bit of time between, time now, Christmas, and then the beginning of the year. And we don't have as much time. I guess maybe we started the Big Ten season a little early, so we don't have as much time. But we'll take advantage of it because we're not hampered by the amount of time that you can actually spend. When you have 20 hours a week, then that's what happens. But we'll take care of things we need to take care of.
Coach, when you heard Don Imus died, I'm wondering if I could ask you what you were feeling when that happened, when you heard that.
Oh, shall I read a statement to you? Yeah, let me say it, because I didn't know, but we honestly would offer our condolences to his family, and so let me just read this, so I say it. Our condolences and prayers go out to the family of Don Imus. The Rutgers family has found peace through the years, and we are proud of our response to the hateful words that he had years ago. We are proud of the positive changes that it has brought about, and the lessons that we learned that came with it. As African American women, we don't feel that we should be treated, or anyone else would be treated like that. And honestly, I haven't even thought about it. Honestly, it was over. When he asked for forgiveness, and we did that. I don't know if you remember his statement. He said, a newspaper person asked, what did he say? Did you come to this meeting, because we had a meeting at the governor's place,
Right.
and did you come to save your job? And he said, no, I didn't come to save my job. I came to save my soul. And that's what he said, because he genuinely felt, I think, remorse for the words he said. And I do think, even though he and I hadn't spoken since that time, I think that he was genuinely remorseful. And everybody makes mistakes and says things that they shouldn't say. I think that our players learned a lot from that, and I'm proud of them and our basketball team, because I know that the young ladies who have not experienced this, I don't even know if they were in 7th grade when that happened, but they're very cognizant.
So when you say, when you say you hadn't thought of it, you mean when you heard that he died, or you haven't been thinking about it since? To what extent does it still resonate or bother you today?
Well, I mean, to say that it didn't hurt is not true, but I think that if you allow those hurtful things to consume you, then they own you. And so we've forgiven him, and we moved on. I hadn't really thought about it. I was shocked, because I didn't know that he was sick or anything else, and certainly hadn't considered his age. But I'm sorry. My heart goes out to them. I know that he's done a lot of good things as well, a lot of good things. And so I think that if he could have his day again, he would probably, take those words back. And certainly our players have learned a lot from that. And so we accept it, and we move forward from that.
I don't want to harp on it, but in many of his obituaries, obviously, the Rutgers women's basketball team was one of the first or second or third things mentioned. It's definitely a part of his legacy. your response, the way you led the team at that time, to what extent is that part of your legacy when you look back on your career?
Well, first of all, I'm tied to that now. I mean, there's no getting around that. So it is what it is. I'm proud of the way that the team responded. I'm proud of the support that we got from so many fans and people. And I'm proud of the fact that we stood up for what was right. I think that all of our players learned a really great lesson. And I'm grateful that we've gotten it, we're done with it, and we moved on. So I really can't say, like, what would I say? Gee, when did he die? He wasn't fast enough. I wouldn't say anything like that. So no, he's a person that deserves, another chance in life. And so as long as he's had peace with his maker, that's what's most important.
Jackson, I think from you.
There was a no call at the end of the game with 30 seconds left on KK Sanders. Did you see that as a foul, and do you feel like that cost you the game?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You were down by 5, KK was going for a layup, and she was fouled, and the refs didn't call it. Did you see that as a foul from your perspective?
Yeah, but you know what? Every time we say something, so I've learned to keep quiet. When those things happen, we felt that it was a foul. And you saw the Super Bowl games. You saw a lot of things, didn't you? I mean, no, I'm not happy about that. But it'll fuel us the next time we play Indiana, even though it's going to be at Indiana. But we had beaten them twice here as well as away. But it means that we've just got to get tougher and be more together. But I should trust that our players will be able to reflect and come out with a different kind of mindset. And we would hopefully be able to play different things that I would like to play that we couldn't do, today.
Anything else for Coach?
Vivian, I've covered you guys for a while, and you used to have a different schedule to start the season off.
Yes.
You might play some teams that were challenging to you.
Yes.
See where you were going to Christmas and the
You're
conference.
exactly right. Yeah, you're right.
You mentioned the word barrage before. I'm guessing that's referring to that you played some teams, no offense to them, but may not have got you guys where you could figure out what you need to fix for the Big Ten season this
You're
year.
exactly right. No, you're right. We've had games like we would play Stanford. It was the first or second game of a season that we would play. And so with Stanford and North Carolina, Tennessee, we've played them in the preseason. So, and my statement is, in order to be the best, you've got to play the best. And so very clearly, that's what's got to happen. We've known that will help us and get us prepared. But see, here's the problem. These players are so young. There's people that are playing crucial roles that have not really played, shall I say, college basketball. I mean, and there's a lot of players that haven't played college basketball, but honestly, it's real different. They're going to be decent. They're going to be decent. I don't know if I can talk about it now. We had a privilege that this year that I know that she's going to put another face on the whole thing. But nonetheless, we didn't play. You're exactly right. We didn't play the same level of competition, that we would normally play. But it was necessary. It was necessary. I hopefully by next year we will step it up and play the kind of teams that Rutgers is used to playing, and then we can get a better gauge of what's happening, and we won't seem shocked. And I think that some of our players were shocked today, like, what happened? And you could almost see that, as the days passed on, that we had a double practice session, for example. We, as a rule, always have double sessions, but they were shocked, like, man, we have double session. Wow, what is, and so a number of our players, Stacia, Carrie, there was about 3 or 4 players that came today to see this game. And so what they were saying is, like, just to be tough, to expect, they're living a good life right now, and they don't know that, but the time will go pass by so quickly. And they genuinely had an appreciation for what they've gone through, and as some of them were saying, they don't teach you anything at the pro level. You know, you need to know it, and so we're here to teach it. And so the struggle that a player has in going to the league, Rutgers players generally don't have that because we've played so tough of a defense and offensively we're there. But what she was saying is that we got to toughen it up and expect better, and we will. I'm trusted. We'll toughen it up.
Anything else? All right,
Thank
thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.